vision, things that go bump in the night.
Hi, it's John here from New South Wales, Australia. I'm 38. I've just been asked by the BBC to talk a little bit about my experience as a child in the dark and so on. I know it's not really affected me like it does some, but I did have some rough experiences when I was younger. Mainly just related to, you know, like all kids frightened of the dark, but just used to get out of hand a little bit, you know. Sometimes I'd be unable to sleep for the whole night, or other times I'd be imagining all kinds of things, and when I did sleep, sometimes the dreams were actually made worse by some of the things I would think. You know, it was very difficult when I was young. We're talking 5 or 6 when I was having these problems, but even as I got older, you know, 14, 15, other kids seemed to be totally unfazed by the dark, but it would always get me. Couldn't walk home in the dark. Mum would pick me up from mate's house or wherever I would be. Friends, of course, made fun, but even that I could live with. It was just really very difficult thinking about going to bed at night. We used to use a nightlight, but again, that was very difficult. Just fighting with the dark and thinking about how it was, what could be out there, what was out there, in my mind anyway. And yeah, it just made that part of my life very traumatic, and I think a lot of psychologists feared it might be that would lead through to adult life. But I sort of shook it off when I was 17, 18, forced myself through it, and really quite relaxed about it now. I think it actually probably pushed me to confront it almost more than other people do. Yeah, now I'm sort of proud of who I've become through it, to be honest. Just grateful to have just a place to talk about it too, so yeah, very, very difficult times, but glad to be through them. I don't like it in the house at night on my own. I don't like that at all. I don't like it when the lights are turned off. I don't like it. I don't like it when it's just me at home alone. I like it to be me and the missus, and we'll be there watching the TV. Bugging me, it's difficult elsewhere. I just can't do it. Since I was a wee lad, that were it. Found it very difficult. Used to get my mum to come and read to me, but even when she were gone, I couldn't get to sleep. Oh, it were really difficult. I wish I could think of a way now to get to sleep as well, but when you're 48, it's too late then. They don't want to know. They say, you're too old for that, can't you see it's ridiculous? Of course I can see it's ridiculous. Who couldn't see it's ridiculous? What's in the dark? Nothing that's not there in the day. I don't know, I sit here and say it now, tonight will be alright, but when the night comes, same story every time. And up here they don't like it when you're like that. It's hard to fit in society. Hard to get enough sleep as well. Oh, it's dead difficult. 48 I am. Had this my whole life. Struggling to sleep and that.
You're dead right, I am frightened by the dark. I've always been frightened by it too. It's just the way it is out there. It's very difficult being a woman out there, you know. There's things to be frightened of. It's not always irrational. It stems from very rational fear. It's rational to be frightened. You're getting raped. Oh, that's rational, right? Maybe it's not rational to be worried about monsters and that, but I'm not really that frightened by them. It's really the raping I'm frightened by. I mean, even when I couldn't be raped, I'm still frightened by it. You know, I can't be raped in my own bedroom. Not if the door's closed. I'm still frightened though. Even with the door locked. Even around people. Frightened them. It's people I know, you know. People I don't know, that'd be more reasonable. Aye, when I was a young girl, problems then. I had an uncle. He liked to touch me. I think I thought that was normal. All uncles did that. But it didn't. It's not normal. I had a husband for a while, but I think he found me a bit... It was too much, really. Aye, you did right. It is too much. Too much for me to bear. I don't blame him for leaving though, that's the thing. I'd have left me. Oh aye, I'd have left me. Makes it harder though being all on your own. Much harder. Alright. Alright.
Hello, I'm John from Horsham in West Sussex, and I'm here to talk about the problems that I've had with nyctophobia. And really the problem is that since I was very young I have been frightened of the dark, but on top of that, even as I've got older, I've really found it very hard to shake these fears. Some people tell me that it's to do with the way I was treated when I was younger, perhaps by my mother, but others say it's really more that I've just never grown up. And I think partly that is true. I'm 28 now, and really I wish I was a bit more capable in the real world, but I don't like it when it's dark outside. I certainly don't like it when it's dark in my room. People will tell you this about phobias, and it's definitely true. But rationally I know it's ridiculous. It truly is. But when I turn the lights off at night, it's very, very hard to see it that way. I've been through a number of different things. I used a nightlight that I just slowly sort of turned off, or rather turned on I should say. No, turned off, that was right. Throughout a period of say 4 months I'd gradually reduce the light that it put out, but yeah, it just didn't do it. It gets to a point where it crosses the line and to me it's dark. This time of year it's probably 4:30, 5 o'clock, but yeah, in the summer it's like a breath of fresh air to me. I can be inside with the lights on at 10, and before that I'm out in the daylight, which is wonderful. But it just won't go away, and I don't think it's a counselling thing. I don't even know anymore if it's just a fear of what's in the dark or a fear of the actual dark itself, whether it now connects to something deeper in my head about not being able to sleep. It's a fear that I won't get to sleep, and it will last longer and longer, and I'll be awake feeling it, sensing that I'll never get to sleep, and of course then it can become a fear of not being asleep, not being able to sleep, and then but it always comes back to the dark. That's the important thing, for me anyway, that I'll always be frightened primarily by the dark. And whether it's a fear or an anxiety, I don't know. I mean, I think you can give it almost any label you like, and that'll never really change. That when it's dark outside, I want to be inside. When I'm inside, I want the light to be on.
What a beautiful in the night with such beautiful precision.